and there we go. So I guess we're just waiting on Dallas at this point, right?
Yep.
Hey guys, just testing. Am I coming through okay?
Yep, you're good, Mike.
Awesome.
Mike, since you haven't met either, well, you can over the course of the weekend, but you haven't met Fraser. This is Fraser Belfour. He's the guy who's been putting the lead on us for social media and actually doing something.
It's got to be late. I'm in Southern Ontario, so I'm it's 10:30 or 9:30 my time, but it's got to be crazy. What, like 2:30 your time?
2:40 a.m. at the moment.
Yes, as I said, you're a brave man joining us at this time.
Brave or foolish, or both.
A little from column A, a little from column B.
He volunteered. I didn't make him do it.
Okay. Okay, so all the audios.
So my brain is a buzz after walk and load. Like, I cannot wait to start list building.
I don't even know where to start.
Have you started already?
Yeah, honestly, like, Dan, just pick what you think is cool, because almost everything's going to be good. Like, our inventory are so fucking bonkers that it's hard to build a bad list right now.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah. I'm super excited. You know what makes me more excited, though? Dallas is so, like, he's so into it again. Like, it's going to be excellent.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, man, he's got the bit in his mouth, man. He's going.
Yeah, for those of you who haven't watched the video, it was a pretty amazing movie.
It was a lot of people comment how good it was, and just you could tell he was completely blown away by it.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine he didn't really know how to react. Like, he saw everything. He's like, my God, the community did this, and I got no words kind of situation, you know?
I think I'll cut the audio into the beginning of this show when it goes live. I'll put the audio in.
I think it was a good idea.
Yeah, I agreed.
I have to say, though, that first day back on Sunday, I was so dead tired.
Yeah, how was work on the day you got back?
So my boss was super nice because I called him just before I left the hotel. And, hey, barring anything crazy, I should be on time. No worries, I'll be there at 9. And he's like, you know what? We are dead, and I don't need you coming at 12. So I came home and I took a fucking nap. If I hadn't done that, I don't know what my work day would have looked like. Holy.
Wow, that sounds impressive.
Throwing packages around him.
Yeah, it's a crazy here. I'll definitely bow out when the main show starts. It's too loud here, but I thought I would say hi and stuff.
Sweet. And you can still watch on Twitch too, or listen on Twitch anyway.
Yeah, I'll just mute myself listening.
Yeah, that works. Works for us. Or Dan, did you have a good time?
Oh man, I got in a total of 0 games in and just had the absolute best time. Oh, me and Dallas played the IKRPG that first day at noon, right after we gave him his army, and it is Matt Getz and gang named Cal. Man, we just
like a lot.
Dallas. It was a lot of fun. Dallas would probably give you the whole shout down during the main show, but we had an absolute blast. And then it was just hanging out with Dallas all day Saturday, and hang out with Adam on Friday, or on Saturday, I mean, and then just hung out with everybody on Sunday. It was a lot of fun. I had a blast. What about you, Matt?
I had an amazing time.
What'd you end up doing?
I ended up playing a couple of games, probably like 5 or 6 games. One with Sam, one with the guy who donated to Dallas's army. Other with some random people, a couple Canadians. It was so fun. I had a great time. I also played with one of the guys from Blood and Coin, the Merc podcast on Hand Cannon. I can't remember his name for the life of me. I'll find it in a bit. But, then other than that, I hung out. I went with Dallas. I went with you. I actually saw a friend of mine that I haven't seen in God, it feels like a year. And that was super awesome. Got the skinny on a few things that are coming up too. So we'll see.
All right, on. How did the Kickstarter? How did the Kickstarter dinner and all that? How that go down?
That was excellent. Everything was well orchestrated. The guys who came in were all super nice. We got them all their products, and we just had a dinner. Plus, we had some famous faces come by too. So we had JVM stop by, as well as Jason Watt.
All right.
Yeah,
right on some big names.
Yeah, some big names to glad hand the guys that donated. So it's pretty cool.
Right on.
Yeah.
How's that Kickstarter going? Any details for everybody?
Right now, I mean, everything cleared. We cleared over $5,000, which is awesome. Right now, we're just waiting on one last little shipment of product before we can completely fulfill everybody's orders.
Right on.
Yep.
That's awesome. The hype's been all positive feedback from that.
I didn't hear a word of that.
Yeah, that all died out when you were talking.
Feedback and stuff has been good for the Kickstarter?
So far, everybody's very pleased with the T-shirts. We have some pretty interesting designs. It went way better than I anticipated when Charles told me about it. I was like, I mean, our community is pretty supportive, and we're basically the only organization that produces T-shirts on a larger scale for War Machine. Yeah. So I was worried that we had a great goal and then probably make a little bit more, but I mean, it by far exceeded our expectations.
Awesome. I'm sure some listeners are going to want to know, are they going to go live? Are they going to be able to just order it whenever they want, or is it just a one-time thing?
The whole line will be available, and we've already secured a new distributor who's not going to spend 6 months to send us our product. So
that's really exciting. I look forward to that myself, because I didn't have the opportunity to do it back when it was live. So I'm excited about that.
Also, I'm going to be pushing going forward for guys who actually actively contribute to the site to get costs on items like T-shirts and stuff like that. So, because I mean, they're guys like you and Fraser are basically doing most of the technical work for us, and I'm just the shining voice for everybody. So I don't see why we can't give you guys a deal.
Well, I appreciate that for sure.
I wouldn't.
I'm really happy with what I do for this show. I take pride in it. It's a lot of fun.
Honestly, you both have done an excellent job. You picked up where Dallas and I sort of slacked because we didn't have the time, and it has made us as a podcast, as a media organization, and as a group, I guess, just way better. So
we're definitely getting more regular, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah, me too, actually. Like, now that my work's so consistent, and I can expect that to stay the same now, it's much easier for me to get hyped and actually have some.
Can anyone else not hear him? He went quiet on me.
I think I don't know if it's you overriding him or what's going on, because there's a lot of ambient noise.
There's a lot of stuff in the background there. Can you not hear me?
You went quiet. Now. Okay.
I'm turning away periodically. I'm opening the pins that I bought at Pride.
Oh, that could be it. Yeah.
Plus, I'm sort of trying to get my things back in order, helping my daughter put together her new page.
Dropping out of
basically just bought a giant.
It almost sounds like you're in a checkout with supermarkets.
What was that, Mike?
It almost sounds like you had a checkout counter at a supermarket.
Oh, he's working in UPS right now.
Yeah, I'm at work. It's I can bow out now if it's getting too loud.
Oh, no, it's not that bad.
No, it's fine. I mean, I'd be concerned if we were actually recording. Well, we're recording, but if we were actually streaming or anything.
I keep hearing the beep as people behind you scan packages.
Oh, we're all scan. I scan them too. As we load them into the trailer, they got to be identified so they can be tracked and all that good stuff.
Oh,
yeah. I would mute it, but it's not.
Oh man. Chibi Gristle in hilarious.
So I need to test something, so I'm going to start the stream now, but it's like the pre-show stuff, so we are going to go live, but it's more of just a casual, just to let people know that we're doing stuff, so keep up the witty banter as we've been doing.
So Mike, were you there? I don't know that I saw you or was introduced.
Was I where? Sorry.
At Lock and Load, or were you at the? Okay, I don't think
the two of you, but I guess not. I mean, it was kind of a flurry of activity this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot going on this weekend. I was all over the place. So.
Right on. What did you end up doing?
For the most part, like day one, I spent day one playing in the Masters. Got on the reserve list. Didn't make it into the finals, unfortunately. And then I was like half at Lock and Load, half out of it, taking care of other stuff, like visiting friends locally on the Saturday. And the Sunday, I was just playing Mark III games until it was time to pack up and go. So.
Did you play out that night?
No, we flew back on the Monday.
Okay.
Effectively got back in the UK about Tuesday evening our time. But yeah, no, it was good. I had a lot of fun. I was a bit. My favourite Legion caster, I was a bit unsure about her new version, but I'm actually finding her a lot of fun. So.
Who's that? I missed the name.
Bethane.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, because she changed totally. She used to be one of those boosted attack and damage rolls for spells kind of caster, so you just stacked her army up with magic attacks.
Yeah.
But she's changed now into like into more of a combined arms and debuffing caster.
Okay.
Yes, she's a lot of fun. I'm very much enjoying her. I assassinated a warlock in one game with one swordsman that reached the enemy caster.
Right on. What was your favorite part of Lock and Load?
Usually it's the keynotes, but this year I must have blinked and missed it.
Right.
You and 99% of everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit that was massively disappointing, but meeting people is always my favourite. There's always a lot that you can do, and a lot of people that you meet and get to play with that you just never get to throw dice with in any other circumstance.
I've gone not to anything to this scale, but I've gone to a couple of the events in Southern Ontario, and it's more of a social thing. I mean, getting games in is a bonus, but it's almost as much as a social event as it is a gaming event.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun talking and socializing, but it was really weird the dynamic this time around as far as the Iron Arena goes and stuff. It seemed like a lot of people were trying to game it a lot more in years past, trying to get those skulls as fast as they could.
Well, that's right, because they would get all the bonus prizes and stuff like that, correct?
Yeah, yeah. But it seemed unfortunate, but we had a lot of fun. I mean, I like I said, I never touched the game at all, honestly. Not for lack of desire, just between work and school and family, I just haven't had time to put my army together. So all my guys were in bits. I brought them just in case, but I ended up just hanging out with Dallas and.
Whoa! Wow!
Wow!
Nice subtle entrance there, Dallas.
Whoa!
I made it.
Wow!
Yeah, a sudden awkward.
I'm about to go driving my tug.
Fortunately, we can't hear you, Dan.
Yeah, I unplugged my mic. Anyway, I'm about to go drive my tug, which is a lot of honking and stuff. So I will see you guys later.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm
Thanks for
gonna
doing
go
it.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute myself. Hey, Dallas.
Bye, Dad. Hey, before you go, if you can see this, I put vinyl on the side.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
And on the other side, here's the other side. Ooh.
Wait,
Yeah.
no, that's not acceptable. It has to be trolls or nothing.
Hey.
Bye.
See ya.
Goodbye.
I can't still hear you, but carry on like I'm not here. Bye bye.
Check. 27. 42. I mean 42. 42.
Oh,
Is
it's
that your
40.
password?
No,
What?
42 is the meaning of life.
Life, the universe, and everything.
I know, but it's not about the answer. It's about how you got to the answer.
True. Show us your math.
Have you not watched Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
I have all but lived the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Then I don't need to show you anything.
The great computer did it all for you.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So, Dan, you can't talk anymore, but I've been going through all my bits, and I have these little cases. I have these little cases full of bits, and I have many bits for Dan. Here you go, Dan. There's 2 of these full of bits.
Wow. Awesome.
You are welcome.
So we're coming up to that time. We're about 6 minutes out from start. So I'm assuming we're going to do a quick coverage of everyone's lock and load experiences.
Yeah, that's probably.
And then we will dive into the cards. I hate to do it, and as much for me as it is for now. I have Mike, and Mike can hopefully jump on my side. If we can keep this to about an hour or just over an hour, that would be ideal.
I think that if we just recap lock and load, that's probably going to be enough. And honestly, what we should do is like, all right, well, so we should recap lock and load, and then we should talk one model that we're hyped about a piece, and let's just gush a little bit, and then we'll move that into a more in-depth analysis of the faction on the next time we record.
Okay, that works for me.
Okay.
Now I just got to figure out which one I'm excited about.
Holy there's so much that's to be excited about in there.
Well, I mean, I think for me, I've owned them. I've never actually played them as the champs. So I'm thinking I may actually bring out the champs because with being able to get that +2 defense and throwing them with Calandra, you got a chance to do some dice manipulation and reducing the chance of being hit. So I think that's going to be fun to play with, at least for me.
So if anybody's had a chance to play with War Room, I haven't found it yet. Is there a way to reference a card library without actually building a list?
Yeah, you just go into the little.
You push the little card button at the bottom of your screen.
Is it the one with multiple cards or the one with multiple cards with a plus and minus?
Oh, hold on. Let me open it up on my tab.
The plus and minus is your collection. The cards are just your cards. So if you want to track what you've got, what you own, what you've been painted, use the plus and minus one.
All trolls.
And I think it asks you to filter because it'll let you filter them as well.
Yeah.
The filter's garbage, and then you take it off and just let you select things just like you're building an army.
Yeah, I'm here
Agreed.
now.
Other than that.
Sweet.
And see?
So before we get started, check this out. I was gifted Gordon Grunback. For those of you that know, he was my secondary mercenary caster. He's probably getting retired though, because I don't have any jacks for him. But because I'm going to play Ashland now. And a wonderful press ganger gave me his Gorman the Seawolf. I don't know if you can see Gorman.
Sweet. Awesome sauce.
He's a very nice individual that is never going to use him, and had him just like this. Of course, he comes in one piece, I think.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so I have Gorman the Seawolf, who is Leolese and will fit nicely in my Vive la Resistance. So there it is.
Excelente.
Oui.
You have to go wee-wee?
Just the
No.
Okay, that case guy, Corey, I keep forgetting his Facebook page for his... Oh, I've got it right here somewhere.
Send it to me. I will post it.
We're going to plug it. And I'm going to show... I have my case that I just showed you guys with the vinyl on it. My big case is at my office right now, so...
Yeah. Okay. How did the etching go on the thing?
Did you see the picture? I have that picture too. So I'm ordering LEDs. If you put the little LEDs, they have like these little ribbons. They'll fit right inside the edge of the case where the glue is. so you won't really see them. And if you put them on the edge of the glass, it kind of doesn't light the clear glass up, but the etching lights right up because it catches all the glass and or all the light and breaks it. So I got a picture of that as well, Fraser.
Okay, perfect.
For yourself. Let's see. Let's go here. And
I've got, I don't know if you want. Have you given any more thought about these things?
What is that?
That's the arcing puck.
Oh, that's really cool.
I want some.
It's fantastic. Dave, who was a local guy, does, and I forget it. And I'll put his name in the page. But he made this. He eyeballed this first one. He just designed this quickly. Just maybe I'll come up with this, and threw it into a 3D program, and then had Shapeways print it, and it came back. But basically, you drop your base into it, and then you just line it, and it's so much easier to use than the Ninja Stars or using the piece of paper. It's just they're so sweet, and you can customize the back. So if we want something like the TrollbloodScrum logo or something on there, you can add that without any issue, or put like some of the words along the side because you can have it on the side as well.
I would love, so if he'll discount them for us, I would love to get 5 of them
Sure.
with the Scrum thing on it.
Okay.
And originally I thought I'd give them away, but I think I've decided they're for us.
Oh, okay.
So
I have one. Yeah, I have one, so I'm good.
Do you have a TrollbloodScrum one?
I do not.
Okay, then you don't have one.
I'll talk to Dave tomorrow and see what he did. Do we have? If we just give him the file we have, like the Scrum with the fist logo, is that all we're looking for?
I think that one's okay. Or just on the base, instead of on the base, just do TrollbloodScrum.com around the outside edge, and then maybe on the other side, Scrumcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Kind of fun.
Yep. I'll reach out to him and get a price. Okay, so we are 10 o'clock. So we ready to go?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead. Do you have something witty come up to say before we start?
I think I do.
Okay, so let me transition.
We'll let the listeners decide.
Let me transition to the slide, and then I'll start recording.
Works.
Okay, and no one can hear anything because I don't have the mic set up on that, but that's okay. So recording, 3, 2, 1. I'm switching back. And we are live on Twitch, on DefEd Dice, and on the Moose Machine Network.
Excellent. All right, hold on 1 second. My dogs are freaking out about something.
They're excited about your intro. And I'm keeping the camera on Dallas. All we're seeing right now is Dallas. Dallas, Dallas, and more Dallas. Oh. We just lost a viewer because of that, I think. We went from 4 down to 3.
Please, you'd lose 1 and gain 4. Don't give me that crap. I think we both know how that's going to go.
All right, are we ready to go?
Certainly are, at your convenience.
Mm-hmm. Hello and welcome to once again to. Okay.
Good stuff.
For those of you listening, this is evidence that we don't always do this perfect every time.
That's code for we never do this perfect the first time.
At least we're consistent.
Hey, it is what it is. I'm still mad at Matt for leaving without saying goodbye to me.
I apologize.
Saturday night. Jerk face.
You see me every time anyway.
Yes, but how often do we get to actually play a game together?
This is true. Well, if I had been able to stay till Sunday, we could have done it, but I
know.
Yeah. So, all right, are we ready?
When you are.
Hello and welcome once again to another episode of the Scrumcast over at handcannononline.com, where some may have loved and lost, but they didn't go to lock and load. With me, as always, is the press king, or formerly known as the guy, Mr. Dallas Johnson.
Yes, sir. I was busy making faces into the camera.
I was watching that. Good to see your face again, sir. It was nice spending a weekend with you. I've also got our Canadian troll, Fraser Belfour, DefEd Dice on all things social media.
Good evening, everyone.
And as a super special guest, you know him, you love him. He's our UK troll, Mr. Mike Davis Bakarayu.
Hey guys, how's it going?
We are outsourcing these days. We have to bring in talent from other countries. That's why half of this podcast is not American now. So, gentlemen, Lock and Load has come and gone, and it was a super memorable weekend for everybody that went, except for Fraser, because he's not there.
Yeah. So,
So hey, Fraser. So I've decided. So I think we're still gonna do the surrogate program where you get to keep the axe for a year, but between the two of you, you'll have to play a game, and who wins is the one who gets to take it home.
oh, so we're not working on a seniority basis? That's good.
I'm gonna give you even footing. We're gonna start off like that.
Now, that makes an assumption that you don't wind up losing it again anytime soon.
Shush your face. I have it in hand.
Oh.
Actually, I believe it came back to me. You
Ah,
lost it.
guess whose house it resides in? Thank you very much.
I think we're jumping a little ahead in the story, but I'll let you continue.
Oh, that hit social media like the day it happened. So we'll go ahead and move on from there. Back to Lock and Load. So we're gonna go down the line, and we're going to talk. We're gonna let Dallas start out though, because it's been a little while since he's been back to a Lock and Load. Dallas, tell us how your amazing weekend went.
Let's see. I showed up late on Thursday night and almost completely missed the invitational because my flight was delayed by about 45 minutes. So I thought I'd get time to maybe hit the raffle, play a few games. But I was able to hit the store and get some battle boxes so I could actually, play. And so my whole approach to Lock and Load when I came in Thursday night was get some battle boxes, get ready to start doing demos for the new release, get as many points as I could while I was there volunteering, and then buy a bunch of troll stuff and go home. Didn't really work out the way I had planned because Friday morning, and I put the YouTube for you there, apparently spearheaded by the other local press ganger here and our producer, Dan, Sergeant Buss, organized an effort to replace a lot of my army. And so I got to tell you, I'm super grateful. I don't accept help very willingly, but be that as it may, I'm super grateful for everything everyone did. Matt gave me a fantastic model. I got enough Crew Warriors to run about 7 units. So,
Awesome.
so isn't that cool? But all in all, they replaced a good portion of all my army. While I was there, a press ganger handed me his no-quarter Iris, but she doesn't have any arms. So I have a no-quarter Iris without any arms, and then another press ganger handed me a Gorman de Seawolf, and so I got him during the event as well. Played a little of the IKRPG, and I volunteered like a madman all night long, both nights, to get as many points as I could so I could buy stuff in the store. Turns out I didn't really need to. And a part of what they gave me, and Fraser, I put the link of the picture of the big case. Dan over, or not Dan, Corey over, he's starting a Kickstarter for a new clear display case / army transport case called MAT, Modular Army Transport. We'll put the link up later. But he makes these nifty clear cases, and he gave me one carries gargantuans and colossals, and the other one carries your army. So and then we took it down to Dan's school and etched a big Trollblood symbol in the front of it. I'm lighting it up as we speak, so within a week or two, hopefully when he starts his Kickstarter, I'll have it lit up. But if you can see in my camera, he gave me this colossal carrying case. It's pretty sweet, clear. Door slides open and close, and you can turn it upside down, and stuff doesn't fall.
So awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then also, since I have vinyl, and in the past I've made some vinyl, I put vinyl on the side. So I put the Trollbloods logo on that side, and I actually do play Mercs from time to time, so I have my Merc logo on the other side. That's the Galleon in there, if you can see him. Anyways, stay tuned. I think when the next time we record, we'll have his Kickstarter link. He's going to do a Kickstarter to see if this is something that people want.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot. I'm not quite sure on traveling like in an airplane with it, but for local tournaments and even if like I drove to an event, I like it a lot. Actually, it looks really cool. Showcases all of your models, especially if you have everything painted, which through the generous donation of the Scrummers and our listeners and everyone that's fantastic. I love you all. Most of my stuff's painted too, which is glorious. It looks really great in that case. So hopefully I can get it lit up and filled up with painted models for our next recording. But go check him out, Modular Army Transport on Facebook. It's really cool, really rad. Thanks, Corey, for donating that stuff, and thank you everybody for donating figs to me. It really took the load off, and it allowed me to just hang out at Lock and Load, and I volunteered at the Iron Gauntlet desk for a lot. Even got a few games in, Mark II and Mark III games. We'll talk about that later. But I just kind of hung out. I didn't plan to play any games, so I didn't really play a whole lot. But man, I had fun. I met a ton of really neat people, and I'm going to forget everybody's names, but we're plastered all over Facebook, and I really appreciate everything. And no, I posted, we will get even. There will be retribution. Every single person who I have a name that gave me something, you will be getting something back. So you can't get away from me that easily. I will pay you back. Bring it on.
Also, there's a video of Dallas being a blubber, you know. And,
yeah, I even cried a little bit. My head was all hunched because I'd slept on the floor, so my neck was all kinked, so I looked like Hunchback of Notre Dame there. But there's a YouTube video I linked for you, Fraser, there in the chat of them humiliating me. Super grateful. What else did they give me? Oh, Fraser and his crew were lighting up a Glacier King for me. I'm very excited about that. Indeed. And I'm super excited about running my Kings. You guys, the Kings are going to own the world. Pioneered by myself and everyone else that comes over to my side of the world. So
it's going to be awesome.
What else am I supposed to talk about? That's it.
Well, I mean, you did that IKRPG thing, right?
Oh man, that was cool. So the IKRPG, they had 4 tables going at the same time. And we were all an extension of that, Black River Mercenary Company. And so we're all associates of those first 4 that come in their first adventure. And you split up and you're trying to recover some reconnaissance information for Signar in exchange for being able to take contracts all throughout Signar instead of just in Corvus. And so you split up into 4 groups and you go into this Orgoth temple. And everything you did, like not everything you did, but things that you did as you went through your part of the temple affected other tables. And so as we figured out a mechanical thing, we filled someone else's room full of smoke twice, and they took a bunch of damage because we didn't. And so there was one game where their guy tripped the evil bad guy, and he flew up into the other room to fight the other guys because they were trashing him. And he didn't let go of his weapon, so he went up through the floor with him, and they made him move tables and everything. It was really cool. I never thought about doing that, but there was 4 GMs and then a master GM, and then 4 tables of 4 playing. And I got to get my hands on that because it was cool. Man, it was cool. So I got to play in it, and then the next day I helped them run it. It was a lot of fun, man. That's where it's at. What else?
I dig. I was actually over there for the conclusion of that, and everything seemed like it was run really, really well. And
it was. The timing was real good too. The GMs coordinated with each other really well to kind of make sure they were all kind of at the same pace. The whole adventure lasted right at about 5 hours. It was just superb. Well done, Privateer Press. If you're listening, which I doubt you are, but if you are listening, I loved it, and I'd do it again in an instant. So thank you very much.
Yeah, it's actually making me think about what I want to register into next year because it seemed like it was a lot of fun. You just need to make sure to bring snacks next time.
Yeah, I made Matt buy me food both days. So.
Yeah.
But he did get lunch out of it off of me too. So there you go. So
that was excellent. Everything else was really well coordinated. So the only person who actually did anything competitive this weekend was Mike. So Mike, I'm going to go ahead and let you give us a quick recap of your tournaments this weekend.
Okay, yeah. Well, Lock and Load started off eventfully. Matt was staying over in my hotel, and the evening didn't exactly go as I expected it to be. Largely consisted of Matt running in, dropping his bags up and say, "Crap, I lost Rathrock." And that turned into a run up and down the street looking to see if he could find it.
I'm trying to find the YouTube video. So
it's over on Hand Cannon, guys. Go to the Hand Cannon Facebook page. It'll be there. You can watch. You can have me recount for you my harrowing tale of being a complete moron. And
I'll link it for Fraser.
It wasn't even like I was drunk or anything. I just had my hands full of everything. And I turned to the gentleman, and I'm like, "Thank you so much for the ride." I lean down to get my stuff, and he's already driving off, and I'm like, "Shit." It was terrible.
Yeah.
And of course,
We lost him.
Yeah, we lost Matt. It's kind of par for the course, really. He loses he loses Rathrock. He loses his internet feed. I think we know who the real troll is.
apparently if you hit spacebar, it just closes your freaking video for you.
Sure. It's the space bar's fault.
At any rate, yeah. So and then I run up and down the road. I run like away, Mike, because I think I'm gonna find it in the road someplace. And Mike's just like casually walking along, just like, well, that's shitty. Sucks for you, Matt. And so I get back to him and I look in the bushes and stuff. Like apparently the axe had flown off the trunk, skipped the curb, and fallen into the parking lot of the Bellevue Mall right there, which is right across the street from the hotel. So I feel like a big idiot, but they went back, found it, and then proceeded to troll the shit out of me for about half the day, telling everybody that they found it again, and then didn't tell me until later in the day, and Dallas took the honors of bringing it back.
Well,
Man,
so,
I tried so hard to get them to let me keep it.
I'm just gonna have to give you. I'm just gonna have to loan you my Rathrock. Mine's.
You'll
right
see Mike's behind there.
Yep. So I'm not sure how well you guys are gonna be able to see this, but here's my Rathrock.
Wow, that's impressive.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, this one also does not return when I throw it, but clearly that's a trick that's unique to Madrak, it would seem.
Boy, that's pretty sweet.
I won it as a prize for killing the most army points when I went to the Blood and Oil tournament in last year. Great tournament, by the way. I'm sure that Ross would love to get a free plug out of it. So anybody ever fancies coming to the UK and going to a tournament in November this year, second weekend I believe it is. Might be the third weekend, but Blood and Oil is a great tournament, very well run, and very friendly players.
Awesome. Well, if you can send us the details, we can post it on the Facebook page.
Yeah, I'll get the details, and I'll make sure that you guys have it.
Sweet.
All right, so tell us about your Masters performance.
Well, the first game was... You're always a little bit unsure about what's coming up when you get into the first game of any tournament. My first Masters game, I was bringing my Legion for this one because I committed myself to a year of playing Legion, and no, not easy mode before you go ahead and jump in and say that, Matt. I know what you're like. Because I don't run the usual Legion Warcasters, or Warlocks even for that matter. My first game, I was up against... I'm trying to remember who my first opponent was. It shows you just how much everything turned into a blur. My first game, I think I was up against... I want to say Scorn, but I'm not sure. Yeah, my first game was up against Scorn. I don't remember the Warlock I was up against, but I remember looking at both of his lists and looking at the two of them. Like both of them were quite infantry heavy, and so... I dropped Bethane, which was like my infantry counter list, and it was a bit of a grind. I didn't score any control points in that game, but ultimately I won on assassination when he knew that he wasn't going to win on scenario, and he went for a desperate assassination attempt, which did not work. So that's pretty much how the first game went. The second game I was up against Crix, and I remember this one because I was up against my least favourite Warcaster out of all of them, which is Gorshade 3. Gorshade, it seems like every time I play him, he always gets an opportunity to either make some attempt at an assassination run out of nowhere, or gets the opportunity just to scenario you out of the game by just running Mechanothralls in and blowing them all up to station and everything.
Jerk. That guy's a jerk.
But my record against him was around about 50-50, and I dropped Bethane again because she's made to be my Crix drop. And for the first time, I got to live the dream with the Swamp Chamblers, where I had like 18 of them, and I charged the Gatorman Bocker into the Sepulchre. And I don't know if you've ever actually seen what he can do to a Colossal or Gargantuan. basically is death magic. You can take a guy off to buy an attack, and you can take a guy off to boost damage. And he took about 40 boxes off the Sepulchre by himself.
Wow.
So yeah, he was not messing around. And after he lost his Colossal, again, the only thing he could try to do was an assassination run. But I knew that's all he had to go with. So Bethane had her Ashen Veil up on herself, so she was sitting on defense 18, and he just couldn't hit her with the attack that he needed to try to kill her off. Third game was against Kador. They were supposed to go for 4 rounds, and so I didn't want to list lock myself, so I dropped Callus, even though Bethane again would have been the better choice. Turns out in the end, because of the number of drops, they actually had the number of undefeateds that they needed after 3 rounds, which was annoying, because otherwise I would have just dropped Bethane again. But in the end, I lost that one. It was Vlad 2 against Callus, and this terrain massively benefited him, and without any stealth, he just gradually picked my army off and managed to win on scenario. So yeah, that was how the tournament went. So in the end, I finished 3rd reserve. I showed up in the morning, but didn't get in, unfortunately. So it was a win-win. That just meant I just played Mark III all day.
Mark III's fun. What are you gonna do?
Mark III is fun.
Yeah, I would think that there's not a lot of people that would not show up to a Masters event at Lock and Load. I don't think being in the reserves probably is almost as good as not making it, just because, I mean, who would skip the Masters round? Right?
Hey, being in the reserve is closer than almost everyone else got.
Oh, true, yes. Not to take away from that, but I'm thinking it's almost.
Let's take it in context. A tournament of almost 200 people, and he finished probably top 18, 20, 25 at least.
Oh, that's still fantastic.
Basically, effectively it's like the top 25, basically.
Yeah.
I think they had those 4 reserves from each heat, I think. So that's
nice.
12 people from each altogether.
See, this just proves old school scrummers. We like to perform. So last year I was top 16. This year Mike top 25. That's proven.
Well, and a couple of years ago, Mike was in Masters. He made the top 16. So.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I was top 1 in the qualifiers.
Next year, I'm playing in it, and I will hopefully do something other than suck. What's the goal?
You know what? Just right now, we're in an era where you can specially need Snowflake your ass to a win, like as much as you want, because nobody's gonna really know what kind of synergy you're gonna see. Like I've already said, like I think Gargantuans are gonna be big this year. And I think the Mountain King's going to make some waves.
They're big for me.
Yep.
All kings all the time.
The Sea King is the one who's going to be making waves.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Holy moly. All right, so my lock and load was pretty eventful. I had a great time. I showed up Thursday night. I got to get off work a little early, so I made the RFP dinner for our Kickstarter donators, and it was super awesome. Got to glad hand some celebrities from the War Machine community, JVM, Jason Watt, the little guy that runs Hand Cannon, Charles Sarah Smith was there as well, along with the rest of our crew. Had a good dinner, got to hang out. It was just a really chill evening, and like I said, I got to see Dallas's face for the first time in what feels like a year. So, that always made it good. Saturday morning started really slow. I basically just ran around, helped out with all of Dallas' stuff, made the connections behind the scenes, and made sure everybody was on the same page. So then all of a sudden,
gave me a shirt.
Yep. I gave him my.
You're not getting it back, by the way. You're just gonna have to take mine from Charles.
I'll just grab another one at some point. That's fine. It's been laundered only a handful of times, so.
I hope so. If you've worn it a handful of times.
Then I basically did a lunch run, hung out with Dallas, watched him play the RPG, played a couple of games during the day. Canadians, a couple of other guys, like lots of fun. First round was Crix. I played my old school Gristle 2 War Wagon Mountain King list. I killed about 42 Mechanothralls over the course of the game. I was playing Scar 1 with Sepulchre and Mechanothrall spam. The War Wagon was MVP. He killed 35 total of the whole thing. Yeah, the War Wagon just like wrecked house in that game. It was amazing, and I only lost to a close assassination. So it was a super fun game, and all of my pieces were just like running, firing on all cylinders. So I was just taking models off the board left and right. It was a super fun game. I think the next game was against a Retribution player, which ended up going in my favor. I played Borka 2 into that, which was super fun. Stealth is kind of hard for armies that shoot. And then ultimately Borka got in there and ended the game for himself, because why not? That's what he does. He's quite the star. The next day was basically just waiting for the keynote, hanging out with fans. It was just a really chill day. I did get a game in that day with one of the gentlemen who helped with the donations for Dallas, which is Drake Scott. Drake's the one that hooked us up with the case and sort of got that moving as well. He's a super cool guy and does a lot of his own freelance art and a couple other things. So find him on Facebook, Drake Scott. He's got a number of his pieces up on his website. Probably has a DeviantArt as well. But it put us in touch with the guy that made Dallas's case, and was a super nice guy. You'll also find him in the video where Dallas cries.
It's true. It's true. I didn't cry.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Fine.
There was dust or something in the air.
It's the new age, Dallas. You can be sensitive.
No, I'm old school. Freaking millennials get everything handed to them. The participation trophies piss me off. Earn your trophy, dang it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, where did that come from?
Light track there.
From your son that was competing in the freaking finals that day on Saturday.
Yeah.
How did they do? Did they win?
It was Friday night, so they came up through the losers bracket because they lost their second game as the final tournament of the regular season, double elimination, and they happened to make it all the way to the championship game. Going into that game, the team that they were playing had only they hadn't even really lost. The closest they came to losing was, I guess we tied them. I thought we beat them, but I guess we tied them once. So they were undefeated in the regular season with one tie, and they were undefeated in the tournament. So going into that championship game, if we beat them, we'd have to play them again because you got to lose twice. So my 9-year-old kid, he actually had to pitch because there's a lot of pitching restrictions, and we had played 5 games that week. And so my son, in true Trollblood fashion, dug deep and took some names and frickin' made me buy him a frickin' Legion army. So, but that's okay. Anyways, they won. They beat them twice. It was pretty cool. It's pretty cool to beat an undefeated team too. That's a lot of fun. So.
Pretty fantastic, for sure.
Yeah. Little. I'm sure you guys all care about my life, so.
It's like a Hollywood ending. I mean, you couldn't ask for any more than that.
It's nice to, you're hardly ever in that situation in your life, and it's nice to see him. He's been playing baseball for the last 4 years. 2 or 3 different leagues at a time. So the closest he's ever gotten is 3rd place. It's nice to see him make it all the way to the top once in a while.
Awesome. Definitely.
Especially a team that's not supposed to make it. So.
Yeah. Well, and I basically capped off my Saturday with a really rewarding evening. I got to have dinner with some old friends from my meta that I don't see very often, and an old friend that lives on the other side now that I haven't seen. Dinner full of laughs, excellent day. Got to hang out, come see some super awesome spoiler stuff with Madrak 3 and the Sea King, which is going to be freaking awesome.
I think I'm more excited for Madrak 3 because I like Madrak. But the Sea King, but the Sea King's. So at first I wasn't sure about his ship thing, but I've decided it's his Commodore hat. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There it is. Yeah.
You saw the picture. It looks fun. Looks funny until you realize it's his hat.
Why does he have that on his head? Well.
It's a pirate hat.
In the water, and he has a pirate hat now. That's the way it goes. What I'm more excited about is that goddamn anchor in his hand.
Okay, listen very closely. It is not a merc or minion. It is a troll. We were there. They told us.
Okay, so we've got
Let's not
the
be confused. Also, that's Madrak 3, not Horthol or whatever, or Horgel. It's not Horgel.
Nope,
Not
Madrak 3.
Portugal. Madrak 3. We were there unless they lied to our faces.
They would never do
Madrak
that.
3. They better not. Because then I'll buy more of their stuff anyways.
You'll show them.
Well, and we got a glimpse of some more stuff, some cavalry from the Protectorate, the Warlock Callus 2 was up there as well.
Oh my gosh.
So very serpentine of him, actually, which is not that surprising, I guess. I had to troll Doug Hamilton a little bit while I was up there viewing it. I said it looked Crixie.
Awesome.
And he said, "You take that back," and I'm like, "Nope, not gonna. Goodbye."
You're a bad person.
So I fully expect to be trolled on the next troll model he actually makes. That's what I expect. But the whole weekend was just excellent in every way. I got to hang out, see friends, see fans, see everybody at Lock and Load, and then also when I finally retrieved the axe, I carried it around a good portion of that weekend. Far fewer people interested in taking selfies than I anticipated, actually. But that's kind of the way it goes. And then obviously to cap it off, the axe came back, and now it's going to reside with me at home for the year until next year, and then we will have the epic throwdown that decides whose wall it will adorn next year. So you guys, you have a challenge.
We go by height.
Hey, I'll let you know this. You're probably bigger than me, and you're probably stronger than me, and you're probably faster than me, but I fight dirty, and I'm going down swinging.
Yeah, I mentioned that before, so...
Bring it on. Bring it on, big guy.
I'll send in my 16-year-old twins to soften you up before I come in for the finisher.
Ooh, I'm a wily old veteran.
So we're bringing the family next year, are we, Fraser?
Well, that may be the only way we can get out there is the family will visit my sister up in Vancouver while I sneak down for the weekend for a lot of
I am in the same boat. My wife and kids will be there. Hopefully, my oldest will be with me at Lock and Load. So,
I think you should bring your boys to the convention, Fraser. I think that would be awesome for them.
Well, I know Spencer has been looking at he's been playing Kador, and he looked at the new caster, and he was just, his eyes kept getting bigger and bigger as he's going, it can do that, it can do that. So he's very excited because he stuck with Sorsha through most of the times that he played, just started dabbling with Butcher, because I don't know why, he just decided he wanted to stick with what he had, and he's very excited. So my other son plays Signar, but he's Minecraft and Rust are too big of a draw right now, so I don't think I'm going to get him back into the game immediately. But my son Spencer is all over Mark III and doing the Journeyman League again and getting in and building up to a. I'm not sure if he's going to be competitive, but I think he'd have a blast at something like Lock and Load.
Dude, Lock and Load, you can spend the whole weekend there not being competitive at all, just hanging out.
Yep. I think he'd enjoy that.
Just take away his video games.
Easier said than done.
That's true.
But I also have like 5 inches on them and about 100 pounds, so I probably can get it away from them if I have to.
Just wait till they go to sleep and then destroy their Minecraft village.
I'm sure they'll appreciate that.
Far too much work.
Clearly. Brick by brick. All right, so I think we've put a cap on Lock and Load. I was gonna have Dan chime in for just a few seconds if he was still here, loud as he might have been. But I know that spending a little bit of time with him, he had a blast. Didn't play a game, but he got to hang out with Dallas. Help out with the army. I know he was up in the hobby room quite a bit. Like it was a pretty good weekend for him, I can imagine.
Him and I went and saw a movie.
You don't want to be there.
We're like, it was Friday night, it was getting late, and we're like, let's go see Warcraft. So we walked up to the movie theater and saw Warcraft. That is what it is.
That's a good reason to go. I'm certain it tugged on your nerd strings there.
It was, the orcs were gorgeous. It was it was one of those movies that is going to be both good and crappy, if that makes any sense. Like it was when they go up and they hold their sword up like this, they're like, let's go fight the bad guys. You're like, no, you don't hold swords like that. Don't do that. but okay. Little things like that. But overall, I liked it a lot, and that was good. Bueno, nacho, tango, applesauce.
I did have a question.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just want to go back to the. Did anyone actually see the 3D printed version of the Sea King?
Oh yeah, I've got
Okay.
pictures of it.
Me too.
I saw the picture. I wasn't sure if they were yours or not. Now, did they make any indication that this is going to be a new theme within Trolls, or is this just like they were fairly tight-lipped about that? Because I'm curious if we're going to see like
the script said about it, only that it was indeed a troll, and that this was a not full-size 3D printed model.
I could
wow.
I could go for that's a direction we could go. Also, I think they're going to explore. They're for sure going to explore Northkin. Like that's our immediate next direction is Northkin.
Yeah, it would not surprise me at all with the prevalence of Borka, how everything's been moving. Like...
Well, that's our next book. And if you notice, there's a bunch of Northkin models, like Northkin Fire Eaters. Both Borkas say he's a Northkin Trollblood Warcaster. Scaldy's a Northkin, and he turns his champions into Northkin.
And then
the Northkin Shaman coming out.
Is Rock Northkin?
I don't think Warbeast matter, but no. I could check.
Rock doesn't have Northkin as a tag, but
he's bonded to Borkas, so.
Yeah, because of the way that their theme lists are going to work now, where it doesn't matter which warlock you put in it.
Right.
Because it has a bond, is also then subsequent eligible, even if they're not a bond. But I'd imagine that Rock probably would be in the theme list anyways, but if he wasn't, because Borka's Northkin, then he automatically qualifies.
Yeah. So there's already, if you look through the cards, and if you look through all the factions, like there's a bunch that say Privateer or Lealese or Ordic or Signarin or Thamrite or Morrowind. A lot of things have that secondary tag in their title now. So I assume we'll see a lot more of that with the release of the Theme Force books. Apparently,
so
it was.
Interestingly, having a look through the cards, Trolls have the least kind of tags in that fashion. The only real two tags that we have are Northkin and we have Runeshaper.
Yeah. Yep. We do have the least. I did notice that. So.
I'm not particularly concerned. Like, there's not a lot of diversity among trolls since they're the faction that dabbles the least in other factions, effectively.
Dude, we're the most highly adaptable. You can make trolls anything. You could give them any attributes. You could make them bats. You could make them. You could make them dolphins. You could make them unicorns. Whatever you want to do.
We're gonna have a shark-born dire troll.
Oh, that would be so cool. Shark troll nados.
Fantastic.
Oh crap.
Peacock trolls.
Well, Matt, are we going to spend some time just talking about some of our favorite solos and units, or are we going to just...
Yeah, so what I was thinking is that we could sort of pick out a model apiece out of the Mark III release that we saw and sort of gush for a moment about what we love.
Let's see how much time we have, and maybe we can do it a couple times.
I'm down.
Okay.
All right, so Fraser's the one that hasn't gone. You've got the deck now, Fraser, right?
I certainly do.
All right, so give me the one you love.
The one I love, just because of what I like what they've changed, is the champions. So full disclosure, I didn't play them in Mark II. I had the models, but I was just typically playing Ruins and EE, so it didn't fit in. So for me, what really the biggest change that I like about him is that the defensive line changed from giving that 2+ armor to a 2+ defense. And since I want to take Calandra for one of my first casters because I'm so familiar with her and I figure it'll help me ease me into Mark III, getting Starcross up and getting a higher defense is a win-win. So I'm gonna wind up just having lots of fun with the Trollkins. Plus, having Weapon Masters and with the Krillstone up, getting granted they did lose 3 boxes, but still getting those getting under the stone with the good armor. I think it's for me is going to be a win-win.
So I did notice, and I didn't notice this before, I didn't know if it changed, but I did notice that it's only +2 defense in melee. So you're going to want a Chronicler, and you're going to want some other way to help deliver them.
True.
It's not too terrible, honestly. It makes Soka charge really well, actually, which is good. But that being said, we have a lot of ways to defensively buff our stuff against range, and the Chronicler is so cheap that I don't see why we wouldn't just.
I to be honest with you, I haven't looked at him.
He did not change. Literally nothing changed. Like he still does the same stuff. So. And he's still inexpensive. He's 4 points currently. So.
Yeah, he's the same.
Yeah. All right, Mike. Now this is the one where we're gonna have to break faction. I think you're the one who might hit us with a non-favorite troll model.
No, I don't think so. Oh, okay, fine.
Well, no, because this is all about the TrollbloodScrum. I'm again sticking to the TrollBlood models. Was the one model for the trolls that made me raise my eyebrows the most and ponder possibilities is the Trollkin Sorcerer. Because the Trollkin Sorcerer, for those that aren't aware, used to be a solo that had a jump. So the unit that he picked, he could basically he can do a couple of things like remove upkeeps, that sort of thing. Now he is a full-on weapon attachment, and he can go into any medium-based Trollblood unit. So this means that he can go on to you could stick him into a unit of Fen Blades. And one of his special abilities he does now gives all the Fen Blades magic weapons. Or he can remove an upkeep, and because his special rule says that he can use one of his special actions before a charge, you don't suffer the penalties to your movement. But the thing that I've been toying around with the idea of the most is actually putting 3 of them onto a Creelstone unit.
That's my favorite. I was hoping you'd say that. He's expensive now. He tripled in cost, so he's 3 points per dude. So for 9 points, though, you can increase the bubble size by 3 inches. So.
Well, and you need $160 to buy 3 of them.
Well, really, there's the price point, but the price point aside, the biggest thing that he does is, besides the fact that you now have a 14-inch bubble on your Creelstone, which is bigger than a lot of casters' control areas.
Yeah.
But your Creelstone can also throw out spells from the back line because the three sorcerers still have Razor Wind, so they can still throw out those range 10 power 12s. But also it gives you just that much more guys in the unit. They have multi-wounds, so they can walk through auto-plink templates and that sort of nonsense.
Yeah, so you don't really notice a difference in the aura when it's 11 inches to where it's more than that. I feel like you're sort of throwing it away at that point. But what you do is you give it a lot of gas late game where you start to lose some of the Cruels, or you have to throw them away for combat actions or what have you, and you've got the extra guys who have spent most of their game throwing, like you said, throwing Razor Winds, and then all of a sudden they start to be a more integral part of the unit. It's a pretty interesting thing.
Yeah, or you've also got then stuff like just the magic weapons thing is huge. Put one onto a fire eater unit. Just make sure you don't set him on fire because he will not.
He won't like that as much.
No, that's not going to end well for him.
But all of a sudden throwing out magical sprays on those assaults is, no pun intended, quite magical.
It's fantastic, and it's sparkly because they'll be on fire.
Ooh, sparkly.
Oh yeah.
Because especially looking at them as your Crix counter, when a lot of Crix stuff these days now is rocking incorporeal and that sort of nonsense. Having something that you can put into any unit on demand to give them give them magical weapons, or to strip upkeeps from casters Harbinger with Fear of God and Crippling Grasp. Those sorts of spells, being able to strip those off your guys before you go in will make a massive difference.
I think that he actually has a really solid place in the army now. I think it's a pretty sweet model.
Yeah, that's the first thing that I use. And with the changes to weapon attachments, Trolls at the moment are the only faction that has the ability to put 2 different weapon attachments onto the same unit. Currently, we're the only faction that can do that.
So I have a question about putting attachments on units in War Room. How do I put the Sorcerer on a unit in War Room?
He's bugged.
It doesn't work?
At the moment, it doesn't work. It's bugged.
Okay,
but
that's what I thought. I knew I was missing something. So you can't even add them to the army?
at the moment in War Room, no. But
Stupid War Room.
They had such a good track record of doing things properly right off the gate.
Well, that's true. What am I thinking? The par for the course, right?
Right. All right, Dallas. Dallas, what's your favorite?
Oh man, there's so many. So I would be remiss I would be remiss if I didn't passingly mention the Thor and Gun Mages, because they're pretty sexy. But, oh man, what do I choose? Let's see. The Rune Shapers are fabulous. The Fire Eaters are cheap and fabulous. I like the Knot. I love the Pummeler. Oh, I know what I'll talk about. Let's talk about the War Wagon for a little bit.
You bastard, that's what I was going to talk about.
Oh, the War Wagon. So he's a cavalry model, which is awesome because of Orthel. He's a construct, which is awesome because of the Tinker. Is it the Tinker? Yeah, I think it's Tinker. He has Pathfinder, which is awesome. So he still has the scattergun. It's still only at 5. He still has Pounder, range 12, so it's a little better range-wise. Oh, I thought I got muted there for a second. Anyways, can you guys still hear me? Wave if you can still hear me. Oh, good. Man, all the sound just went away. Okay, so the Pounder's a little better range. The AoE's fabulous, still at 5. POW 16's glorious. He has Arcing Fire and Quake like he always did. The Mount has Momentum and Trampling Hooves, which is that's awesome for the impact attacks.
Oh yeah. So think about this. Like, okay, it actually makes the intricacy of play better because now when you impact, you use momentum on the models that you hit, which means they all get slammed. So you need to be very careful about your charge target because of the way that this gets resolved. I believe, unless they changed. No, they changed the way that the attack was.
They've changed the way the cavalry rules work now. So the War Wagon ending his activation by accidentally killing his charge target, that doesn't happen anymore.
That's no longer a thing, yeah.
So yeah, you move to it's basically like having Bulldoze Plus. Like you move to the first line of models you want to hit, and then you hit them, you slam them, they get slammed into other models, and then all of that crap dies, and then you continue on to your charge target, who then also gets slammed, and then you make all your ranged attacks. It's like, what in the fuck?
It's expensive, but because it's 18 points, but it's worth it. He also has the new better version of Gunfighter Virtuoso called Dual Attack, which allows him to make his melee and ranged attacks in the same activation. You can trample and still shoot. You get additional die on impact attack rolls because he has Line Breaker, and it has reposition, so you can charge in, do all that smashy, and move to the side a little bit so something else can come on and do some damage.
Model's fabulous. Like
glorious. He gained a wound. I think he gained 2 wounds. He has 5, 10, 15, 20, 24 boxes now. FA2 still, so he's pricey, but I could see myself bringing 2. While Matt's talking about his favorite, I'm going to make a list real quick with 2 Mountain Kings and 2 Kings. But yeah, War Wagon, I love it.
The thing about the War Wagon now is momentum on the mount attacks makes a massive difference as well to his assassination potential.
Oh yeah,
because now you can just. So once again, it's just coming back to being the king of bowling again now. So run your Creel Warrior up, or more likely a Fenblade, because no one's going to take Creel Warriors anymore.
Yeah, the Fenblades are just too good.
Just run a Fenblade up next to the caster, charge your Fenblade, slam him over the enemy model, knock him down, and then just hit them with those power 16s. Then on the big gun. Yeah, it's going to be fun and games.
It's going to be pretty awesome. Like no lie there.
Let's see.
So Dallas stole mine, so I'm currently looking through the list of things that I can actually talk about.
Switch to Fraser then.
Fraser already went. He was the first.
He did?
Yes,
I did.
I'm glad you're paying attention.
Fraser can go again while you think.
All right,
Fraser's looking for something as well.
All right, so we did the math on this a little bit earlier, but I think the Slag Troll is one of those models that's going to see like a huge rise in play, and my God, that model is excellent now. Across the board, just so good at what he's supposed to do. And it's kind of specialized, but to be honest, I mean, when you have an entire whole faction on the other side, plus a lot of constructs and hordes, the Slag Troll is going to put some hurt down, and people are going to be like, what the fuck did that Light Beast just do? Did that thing just kill my heavy? What the shit?
Yeah, it's going to be glorious.
It You know, and there's not a whole lot of there's not a lot of synergy really even that's needed there. He's pretty self-sufficient. But what he does do is he turns the Horgle Pyre Slag Troll combo into a much more enticing package now. So I think that's actually a thing you're going to start to see, and the Slag Troll as a model has been much maligned for quite some time, and I'm really happy to see it come into the light, and I'm happy I have 4 of them. So
I completely agree. But was it really maligned in Mark II? Because I don't know.
Before EE, nobody used it.
Yeah, no, I loved it.
True story.
Yeah, before EE, nobody used it. It just didn't have a place in the army. Like, the gun was really great, but Hordes was always the shit, right? Hordes was always what everybody played. And it was the most prevalent in tournaments outside of the top 2 power factions and War Machine. So it's going to be a great model that you're going to see, and I cannot wait to put it back on the table. So if we want to go back around and pick new favorites, I'll give anybody the floor at this point.
Hold on, I'm making a list. We need another Tinker.
I'm excited about the Pummeler. The Pummeler seems to have a nice longer range artillery, which we haven't had before. The blast damage is high explosive. I mean, it just...
The bounce! Good God, it does what the Thumper used to do. It's freaking
exactly.
awesome.
Yeah, like I said.
Yeah, putting 2 pie plates on the table with that kind of damage is kind of silly. Yeah, it's 6 points, and it's inaccurate, but...
It's not hitting anything.
Yeah, it's 2 pie plates, though. That's crazy.
Agreed, but it's still the fact that it's. I think we're going to see. I'm going to pick it, and I mean the model. I don't think we've seen the model yet, have we? We've just seen the card.
No, there's nothing yet. I mean, we know what it looks like because of the card, but we have not seen the model.
I got some old Orc artillery. I may proxy that for a couple games and see how it works out.
Oh man, that's going to be crazy. I mean, I think you're going to see a wholesale, not like a. I don't think you're going to get it out of infantry machine, but I think you're going to see. You're going to see a whole lot less infantry overall due to how much more effective jacks are these days. And some factions fared pretty well as far as war beasts are concerned. But the good thing is that we have Madrak 2.
Complain about the Far Strike tax, now we have a Rage tax, in case you're wondering how that worked.
Yeah, exactly. But we have Madrak 2 and probably the best infantry in the game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Madrak was pretty awesome.
I was surprised to see that the +1 Fury for every model destroyed actually stayed on the card, because we were thinking that would be pulled out, but that managed to make it out into.
Yeah, that's with the way he I don't know. I was trying to avoid the gimmick because Madrak's what everybody's talking about right now. I don't know how you don't lose.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes on the table. In fact, let's do that. Next game you play, Proxy Madrak 2 if you don't have him.
For everybody else, I will be doing that. I want to see how bonkers it is because I think it's pretty nuts. I've got a lot of experience with that feat, Madrak 1's feat, and man, I got a lot of legs out of it before. Now Madrak's just going to kill your whole army, kill your battle group, and then kill your caster. And if you laugh like that's not actually going to happen, but I'm going to do that.
Well, I hope it happens because I've got a tournament I'm going to this weekend. I'm bringing Madrak and Kalandra, so I'll let everyone know how that one works out.
Bring yourself a Pyre Troll and and a Rune Bearer. No, not a Rune Bearer. You don't need a Rune Bearer. Actually, you can, because he's still got Harmonious Exaltation. So, yeah, Pyre Troll and Rune Bearer, those are the only 2 required things there to have your fucking dream feat turn. Just wait until they don't space 5 inches apart from one another and then kill everything.
And if you do happen to run out of things to kill with Madrak, you should have enough Fury to cast his AoE 5 times.
Yeah, something like that.
That might have been an exaggeration, but you feel me.
And if they bring a bunch of jacks, you're just I have Fenblades and Blood Fury. Hooray!
Oh, I love it.
Super awesome. I mean, too good a little, I think. But that's neither here nor there.
All right, I'm just spitballing here, and I know we're talking about units, but Jarl Skuld, a Rune Bearer, a Mountain King, a Glacier King, a Slag Troll, 2 War Wagons, 2 Tinkers, Lanessa Rissel, and the Swamp Gobbers, because you have room for 2 more points.
That's 75 points?
That's 100, actually.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's pretty big.
That's only 4 large based, huge based models on your army.
Only.
You're gonna have to swap Quicken at least once a turn.
Well, that's why I put Lanissa Rissel in there to help.
Yeah.
She's gonna help the Kings get in there, and then Quicken and Tack Soup is for the War Wagons.
That's good. I feel like it should be the other way around though, because they have no problem getting into position. The Speed 5 stuff does.
Do it the other way around then. Put Quicken on them and Lanissa Rissel, and now your Mountain King's gonna charge 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 inches. Plus he has 2-inch reach, so now your Mountain King has a 14-inch threat range with kill shot and assault.
Seems pretty good.
I'm just saying. So I think I can go for my next favorite. Am I allowed to pick a minion though?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Can I? Do I want to pick a minion? Okay, first of all, I'm bringing it up again, I promise. But Thorn Gun Mages, hot. That unit alone convinced me to actually order a whole Laylee's Resistance army. Just so you guys know how I feel about it. Who do I like? I had someone and forgot. Oh, Braylon Wanderheart, guys. She's pretty solid without Highwayman.
Yeah, as a solo, she's great.
She's only 5 points. She has the Gunfighter, the Pathfinder. She has 2 POW 12 range 8 shots, which suck. Her stat line is 666.
Yeah.
Which is cool. And the way backstab works now, she just has to walk into someone's back arc, and she's getting all the extra dice on her for backstab, which is
lucky, right?
Sweet. She has prowl when she has concealment, so she gets stealth when she's concealed, and she has run and gun. So if she destroys a model, she has to make a full advance another direction. So she runs pretty well independently of support. If you do her right on a flank, you could really get her up behind stuff and make them really have to worry about her killing things like a war.
Yeah. Like, not even just that, but I mean, she plinks support pieces off the table like super easy, and then the in and out game is really, really strong for her. So it feels like she could draw a lot of attention for her like small point cost. It's a lot like what Horthel does in most games, where Horthel's like, hey, I'm not by my Long Riders, but you still have to worry about me just like killing whenever I get to.
Exactly. Plus, she works really well in the Glacier King's shadow. So you've got your Mountain King kind of taking center point, running up the middle. Glacier King off to the side a little bit, lobbing in Thunderbolts, with Braylon sneaking around the outside with stealth.
Not too shabby.
I think it works. I'm just saying. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet, but I will Saturday. So I have a really sweet painted Braylon that was donated to me by Nathan, the Pressganger Ballard, who is a fantastic individual, and she looks fantastic. She's probably the hottest troll chick in the army, and I'm not talking about the way she looks. I'm talking about her stats.
Thanks for clarifying.
Okay, Gristle's pretty cool too.
Of course. So one of the models that I think is going to sort of jump out at you a little bit is going to be Gristle 2. I think that she's going to have some legs in this next set here. Like, they changed her skill set up just a little bit, but when you see the wholesale drop in power across the board, her feat starts to look even better, and then her spell list got better across the board. So she has dash, but she has deflection now. That is crazy.
Yeah,
now,
deflection's really good on her.
Deflection's crazy. Like, so turning an entire army 14 against ranged is really, really good.
With dash and deflection, she's gonna really help you with that alpha strike. So.
Yep, and finally she has Discord, which gives a model Wailing. Wailing is ridiculous because nobody remembers you have Wailing, and then all of a sudden they're like, I can't cast spells. I'm like, yeah, Wailing.
It's pretty rad.
And then it's got reposition and +2 armor unyielding.
Let's call it what it is. You run in with her Fell Call, and you hit him once with a Quake if you have to, and then you just Sonic Eruption all over or just regular. Does she have a regular attack? POW 14?
So you can choose. So what you can do now is you can choose to shoot the same shot 3 times if you want.
So you knock him down.
Quake, and then POW 14, POW 14, POW 14.
What are they? You have to pick one of these 3. Or can
So
you
you
just
have
do a
to pick
regular POW 14 3-inch AoE?
You have to pick one of them.
Oh, so you just crescendo then, right?
So you crescendo, and then if you absolutely have to during the game, like you can put the Scather down so they take POW 7 when they come
Well,
through.
Quake still does a POW 14, right? So you're just
Yeah.
going to do Quake every
If you're
time.
in a direct hit, yeah, just friggin' put 4 POW 14 boots into something.
What am I talking about? Quake the living crap out of them.
Yeah, exactly. And she's still hard as nails. She's 15, 17.
Did she lose an armor?
No,
I thought she was 18 for some reason.
17. She's defense 15.
She's 32. Yeah, that makes
She's not
sense.
getting shot ever at defense 17.
Well, she's hitting defense 16 models on average if you boost it. So,
Yeah.
bring a Mountain King for Defen and then.
Holy moly, that model is made for her. Like that model's made for her, and I think that's why I'm committing to like Madrak 2 Gristle.
Well, now I got to make a Gristle 2 list. That's all I've done since War Room came out is just sit on the list.
Yep. Well, guys, I think that we've exhausted a lot of our banter at this point, and that I think that we should probably call it for the evening. Anything that you guys would like to end on?
Mike?
Only real thing that I want to chime in on is that Captain Gunbjorn is going to be ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
You know I was championing Gunbjorn for a long time in Mark II, so seeing Gunbjorn basically get all the tools that he was missing has left me feeling quite satisfied.
It's freaking Christmas for that guy. He's gonna be awesome. All right, so one last thing. I know, Fraser, we do have the battle report tool live. You want to talk about that?
Yep, so we were doing this earlier in the year, capturing just the Trollblood information. So I've expanded it out so it has all the factions, and we want to start using it as we did before. Mark III is a perfect point to start this up again. So there's a link I've posted. I think I posted the link everywhere on the internet that I could find. So it's if people got tired of hearing me talk about Battle for Breath, now they're going to get tired of me talking about this. But the idea is that put all your games in. We're going to track it all. For anyone who's interested in seeing the raw data, just reach out to me. I'm going to make it available to everyone. This is not data I'm owning. I'm going to massage it a bit and post it on, I'm not sure if it'll put up on the Hand Cannon site or if I'll find another site where I can post live results. Because using Google Docs, you can publish them to spreadsheets, and the spreadsheets will actually auto-refresh. It'll make it all fancy. But anyone who wants the raw data, just reach out to me and let me know, and I can share that with you. And if you want to help sort of scrub the data, or any data people out there that want to help out, let me know. Because as much as I know about it, I'm sure there's people out there that know more. But one of the reasons, just quickly, why we did everybody is that we saw the numbers were skewing on a positive side. As Dallas has said before, a lot of people only put in their good games. So we wanted to sort of have everyone put their games in and see what the response rates against playing against other people. But right now, I think we've got up to about just under 50 games, and the overall win ratio for all factions is 67%. So. Just a reminder, put your games you lose in as much as the games you put your win in. So, but we'll keep this going throughout the rest of the year, and I'm sure this will bring up some interesting numbers as we were seeing. And good on the troll players. So far, the people that put in the most results have been the troll players by far over any other faction.
Imagine that, troll players putting stuff into the TrollbloodScrums thing.
Yeah. Well, I had them all conditioned properly, and they just continued on. Now I just have to get all the other guys to do the same thing. But I've got. Sorry.
A lot of support for the community and trolls.
Oh, absolutely, and I think everyone understands this is great information. We can see just sort of see trends and see how our faction's doing against everyone else, and everyone else can have that information as well. So, and it's all about sharing this, because I think this is to me, I find this stuff fascinating. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. I figured if we can help facilitate that and get some interesting conversations going, it's well worth the time and the effort. So fill it in, the links on the TrollbloodScrum Facebook page, which we're almost at 500. We're at 495, which is crazy, because I think when we started, or when I looked at when we first started doing this, when I first started doing this, how's this for self-promotion? We were at like just under 300, so we've managed to go up 200 in a year. So I think that's fantastic. So.
Not too shabby for a faction-specific podcast, if I do say so.
I couldn't agree more. So if you haven't already, joined us on Facebook, because we're going to post all the links that we talked about today, and you can always ask us questions. So that's it. I'm done. I told you I wanted to finish it off, and then I talked for another 5 minutes. So.
All I have to say one more time is thank you, everybody. You're all glorious individuals. I can't be happier, and I will repay everyone. Everyone will get repaid in some fashion, probably with some TrollbloodScrum swag. But
yes.
But
And
I would.
Awesome.
Oh, there we go. And on that bombshell, this has been the TrollbloodScrum signing off.
Awesome. Thank you, gentlemen.
Excellent. Good podcast, gentlemen. It was awesome. Glad to have you,
Hey,
Mike.
Mike, sorry I didn't meet up with you the last night of the con. I ended up getting an invitation to sleep in a comfortable bed with a shower and everything. So I went and stayed at Dan's house. Plus, I had to be at the airport at like 3 in the morning. So.
Ew, that's kind of gross.
Yeah. Well, I went to work. I got off the plane in Salt Lake, got on the bus or the train, and went right to my office. So. Yep.
No, it's cool, man. It doesn't make any difference to me, so long as you manage to get something sorted. That's all that really matters.
I'm just sad we didn't get to play a game. That's just me. So.
Well, hey, there's always next year, right?
Next year, my whole family's coming.
Oh.
Like I said, the wife and the younger two are gonna go hang out. She's got some family in about an hour north of Bellevue, so she's gonna go stay with them. And probably me and my oldest are going to hang out at the convention and try and stay awake for 3 days straight. So.
See, that's the one thing I never understood about these things is people staying up all night because I would not handle that well. My body.
The only reason I stayed up all night the one night is because I worked from 2 to 10 at the Iron Gauntlet table. So. Otherwise, I'd be asleep.
That's true.
So. All right, I got to skedaddle. Thanks,
no
fellas.
problem. Thank you, gentlemen. And we'll do this
are we
together.
doing this again next week, or are we going to wait 2 weeks?
Yes, we are.
I'd like to keep on the weekly schedule at least until we get through all the reviews.
Very cool.
And maybe a little bit of list building if this still works for everyone.
Mike,
should I be including you on these as well? Like, is this a one shot for you, or do you like being a masochist and being up at 3 o'clock in the morning your time?
So I actually feel bad.
Depends on the times of like my shift for when I'm working, but if I can make it regular, then I have no problems with that.
Well, let's keep inviting you. Let's keep inviting you, and if you can come, be here. If you can't, and we'll try to live without you.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'll reach out to you through. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Do we gonna add him to the Facebook chat just so we have regular? Okay, so yeah, we'll add you to our Facebook chat, and if there's anything you want to cover ahead of time, just let us know. We can work with that.
Hey, somebody posted this something they wanted us to talk about, and I think we didn't even look at it.
There's been a couple of them I admit, but it sort of broke the flow of the conversation.
Make a list, and we'll try and cover it. We'll do fan questions next week. Everything we've missed and everything that they asked for. So maybe promote that direction for next week.
Yep.
And then for the 3 of us, we all have to bring either a 75 or 100-point list that we're thinking about playing.
I'll bring the list I'm taking this weekend.
Like for reals, and we'll break them apart and see what we can do with them.
I think 75 is the equivalent of 35, 100 is equivalent to
75 is 35, 100 is 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I may pester you guys about my list for this weekend, so.
No problem. I've been waiting for you guys to start talking about stuff in the chat. So.
I'm hoping to get my Calandra list figured out maybe even tonight, and if not,
Awesome.
first thing tomorrow, and I'll throw it in the chat. So, anyways, it's late here, and I can't imagine how late it is there for Mike, so I'm going to say goodbye, and we'll stop the stream.
See you later, guys.
There we go, and I will stop this as well. Have a great night, guys.